What is up, Prealgebra? This is lesson 78, and today's objective is learning about products of square roots. So we've already worked with square roots and simplifying them down some, and so we're going to continue to work with that, and also when we can multiply them. Remember this property that if you have the square root of a times b, that's the same thing as the product of a times the product of b. But this can go both directions. If you have the product of two square roots, you can also take the square root of the product underneath. So we will use that as we start to work with this here. So it says find the length and the width of this rectangle. So first let's find the length. I'll call it this one right here is the length of that. In order to find that, we're going to use this right triangle right here. This side length is 3 and this side length is 3. So I'm going to say 3 squared plus 3 squared is equal to, I'll call it L squared. It's going to be 9 plus 9 is equal to L squared, so it's going to be 18 is equal to L squared, or L is equal to the square root of 18. Now remember, that is also the square root of 9 times 2, or 3 square roots of 2. So you could leave it either way. And then for the width of this one here, maybe this one here, we're going to use this right triangle, this one, and this one. Side length of 2 and 2. So it's going to be 2 squared plus 2 squared is equal to W squared. It's going to be 4 plus 4 is equal to W squared, or 8 is equal to W squared, or W is equal to the square root of 8. That's also the square root of 4 times 2, which is 2 square roots of 2. So as we go through, it says then find the area. To find the area, we just need to say length times width. So notice if we said the square root of 18, that's the length, times the width, which is the square root of 8. That should be the same thing as 3 square roots of 2 times 2 square roots of 2. 18 times 8 is going to be 144. Rearranging this, 3 times the 2 is 6, and this is going to be the square root of 4. Well, the square root of 144 is 12. The square root of 4 is 2, so it's going to be 6 times 2, which is 12. So the area is going to equal to 12 units squared. Let's try another one of these. It says the area of PQRS is what percent the area of ABCD. So here is PQRS. We need to find the area of that one. And notice it's a square. And then the area of this big one, square ABCD. Well, the area of the square is a little bit easier because this is 5 and 5. So yeah, this one is just going to be, the area of this red one is going to be 25. Right, 5 times 5. This green one will take a little bit more work, but I think we can do that. Again, we'll just use this right triangle here. This side length is 2, and that side length is 3, so it's going to be 2 squared plus 3 squared is equal to, I'll call it S for side squared. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, that's going to be S squared. So let's see, 4 plus 9 is 13, is equal to S squared, so the side length is going to equal to the square root of 13, which means the area is going to be the square root of 13 times the square root of 13, or that means just the areas of the green one is just going to be 13 units squared. But it didn't ask for the two areas, it asked for what percent. So to find the percent, I'm going to take the area of the green one and divide by the area of the red one. So I'm going to say 13 divided by 25. If I wanted to throw that into a calculator and find the decimal and then multiply by 100, I could. Or this is easy enough to get it to have the denominator of 100, because then I know it's percent. 25 times 4 gives me 100. So if I multiply the top by 4 as well, let's see, 13 times 2 would be 26, so it would be 52. So it would be 52%. Just a few more here. Simplify each one of these just individually here. This first one, I can combine these together. It's going to be the square root of 3 times 12, or the square root of 36. That's easy enough. Since 36 is a perfect square, this is just going to be 6. This next one is same idea here. 42 times 24. I'm just trying to find its prime factorization of this. Let me do it over on the side. So 42 is going to be 21 and 2. That's 7 and 3. So this would be 2 times 3 times 7. For 24, that is 12 and 2. 12 is 6 and 2, and 2 and 3. So that'd be times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And we're just looking for pairs of them, really, because we know that pairs make a perfect square. There's 2, and there's 2, and then those two will pair up. So that'd be the square root of 4, that's the circle one there, times the square root of 4, that's the double underline, and then the square root of 9, it's a single underline, and the square root of 7. Well, the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of 9 is 3, and then the square root of 7. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, so this is going to be 12 square roots of 7. This one here, I will do something similar again. This is going to be 3 square roots of 6 and times the 15. But notice, leave that 3 on the outside. This is 2 times 3. And this is 3 times 5. So those pair up. So here's the 3, and then I have the square root of 9. That's from the two 3's. And the square root of 10. That's the 2 and the 5 multiplied together. And the square root of 9 is just 3, so I'm going to have 3 times the square root of 10. And 3 times 3 is 9, so I'm going to have 9 square roots of 10. Feel free to back that up, watch it again. Your homework is found on page 522. You can do the practice set, all the 78s, all the 77s, and then 3 more of your choice.